how do you think about the complexity of this problem? So we often talk about, you know, long haul on highway driving is very different than urban driving, which is different than suburban driving for automated vehicles. When I think about parking, I mean, I think it's kind of two conflicting thoughts that immediately come to mind. One, slow speeds, stationary objects for the most part, seems relatively simple. At the same time, the most stressful aspects of much of my drives are the parking because those seemingly simple environments end up being quite dynamic more often than you might expect with the way other people have parked and pedestrians or whatever. So what I'm sure you know, or you've thought about this a lot more than I have. How do you think about where this stands on the complexity scale?
Um, I think that it's highly complex for a number of reasons, both technical and from a business model perspective, because there's a lot of mouths to feed in that ecosystem. Um, but also it's simple in regards to, like, if you look at automation, for example. As you already said, moving a vehicle in a low speed environment is a lot easier than it is, out on an open highway where there's so many variables throwing at you. So I think it's a combination of easy and hard. I also think that from a sustainability perspective, it's very hard because real estate developers are trying to figure out how to optimize their properties to, if I think most real estate companies, if they could avoid parking garages altogether, that would be a beautiful thing for them. For the consumer, there's stats that say 30% of the vehicle's emissions are related to people driving around looking for parking spaces, and that also is a huge time challenge for the driver that's looking for the space as well. So there's so many factors converging. I think I would put it pretty high on the complexity scale.